I am Jorge Alarcón, founder and CEO of Aktiun, creators of ChartFactor. In this video, I will walk you through a custom web application that showcases ChartFactor embedded components and their ability to connect directly to your data engine. This application leverages the Google Cloud Platform security model, and I'm going to authenticate right away to it. Here we have the New York 311 calls dataset, publicly available through Google BigQuery. It currently contains 19.8 million calls starting from 2010 up to yesterday. Using this application, you can use the filter panel to focus on complaint types that include noise in their description. I'm going to type noise in the search bar, and I'm going to select them all. You can now see a pattern in the trend line where noise complaints grow during the spring and summer months and slow down during fall and winter months. You can also drill in from boroughs into streets to examine complaints at that level. And the filter status area shows the current state of the application, and you can also use it to remove one or all the values of a filter category, or use the clear filters option to reset them all. Now, here's the Geomap with overlaid shapes for boroughs that you can interact with. So for example, I'm going to select Brooklyn. I'm going to scroll up a little bit so you can see. I'm going to select also Queens or Manhattan or Bronx. And notice that the ChartFactor optimizer doesn't issue queries for this widget when users select a borough. This type of optimization is very important for applications with a large number of widgets. And here we have the word cloud with the top 50 resolution descriptions. Now, going back to the filter panel, the ChartFactor team recently added interactivity rules that are easily configurable so that landmark choices, for example, are narrowed down depending on borough selected. So for example, I'm going to select Manhattan instead of Bronx. You'll see how landmarks filter by Manhattan or Queens, for example, here. And here we can open the call details panel to visualize the actual call records of the choices selected. And we can scroll infinitely through these calls vertically or horizontally. Now let's say that I am asked to replace a trend with a two-dimensional tree map that shows boroughs and streets. Let's go straight to the code to do just that. Here's the function that renders that trend chart that we just saw. I'm going to get rid of the grid for now. I don't need it. And for color, I'm going to select a different color palette. I'm going to put it right here. 1 second. And for metrics, I'm going to reuse the metric here. There is count. That's the default metric. Group 1, I'm going to say group by borough. That's fine. Top 10, descending by count. For group 2, I'm going to use street name. And I'm going to say just top 10. I don't need the granularity of a time because it's not a time field. And I'm going to say also a sort of descending, top 10 descending by metric. All right. And that's it. Here we have the ChartFactor pipe-based syntax. We're saying ChartFactor use this provider, which is defined elsewhere, use the source, the table, and group by group 1, which is boroughs, we defined just that, and group 2, group by street name, graph a tree map 2D, and use the color I just defined here, and put it in the div element trend with ID trend, but we are going to reuse that one. The rest of the options we can remove, and I'm going to save, and I'm going to go back to my application. I'm going to clear the cache, browser cache, so that I can see it. And here's my tree map. There's one problem, however. many streets are null in this call records. So I don't want to show them here. So I'm going to add a filter to my application, to my widget, just to that widget. So I'm going to say static filters here. I'm going to put them here. Let static filters equals filter for street name with operation not in null. Okay, and then I'm just going to add it here before the execute or anywhere in the pipe. And I'm going to say static filters right here. And I'm going to say use that static filter that I just declared. And I'm going to go back to my application, refresh it, and much better. All right. In this video, we have seen ChartFactor components in a serverless web application interacting natively with Google BigQuery. And we also modified the application to render this two-dimensional tree map instead of the trend line. For more information on advanced data applications and ChartFactor, visit us at aktiun.com/ChartFactor.